Today on Drawbli, we are drawing
Depths.
Click that subscribe button if you are new around here.
Or comment below.
Or?
And comment below.
You can only do one or the other.
Pick wisely. Comment below. Tell us what you think we should try to draw next. What do you think we would learn from? What would you just like to see two amateur learning artists attempt?
Amateur, yes, that is us, the amateurs. So tell me about your image that you have chosen here for depths.
So picture this. There I was. At the coffee shop. We drew these at a beautiful coffee shop.
I'm picturing it.
Oh my gosh. I'll tell you about the coffee shop later, everybody else. And I was on Pinterest because the word was depths and I wanted a picture of depth. So I started there for ideas and then it prompted me with like photography, depth of field photography. And then I saw that picture of the pencils and I was like, bet. That's colorful. It's a different take on the word depths than I was initially imagining I'd go for, but I'm gonna try it. And that's the story. Tell me about yours.
Well, when I heard depths, I immediately thought of like deep ocean.
Right,
but
as
I didn't want to do
normal
something.
person would.
Yeah, I didn't want to do something creepy or scary. So I did some long research on depths until I found some whales. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do a whale, that'll be cool. And I didn't really actually have an intention when I went in with this one. Sometimes I'll have like a specific thing that I want to practice or work on. This one I kind of just like went crazy on. Like,
Whoa.
Like I just kind of tried to make something interesting.
Oh, fun. And I've seen the finished result. It did turn out really interesting. Yours turned out amazing. No, this is cool.
Also, I really wanted to do, because I know that you are all about the dappled light. You love dappled light.
I do.
So that was something that I wanted to do here. So originally I just kind of paint in some brushstrokes, but then I use what's called motion blur.
Oh, I love the motion blur feature because you
help
choose the direction.
The direction. You guys can't see it, but Abby's like talking with her hands. It's okay, you're allowed to do that because I'm Italian. But yeah, I use the motion blur right there to get some of those cool blended
Ooh,
colors.
and now it's all dark and depthsy.
Oh, depthsy.
Depthsy.
Yeah. Deep sea, depthsy.
Deep sea, depthsy.
This is nothing. Tell me about your beautiful colors.
So, here I was. We take an hour on these. So I set a timer for 30 minutes. And I said I'm going to work on the background for 30. And then since the two forefront pencils are the most detailed, I'll give myself the rest of the 30 to work on those. So this is the beginning of just kind of settling in the color. And that was kind of fun working on this blurred background because I knew like I could be pretty vague with where I put everything. So I was just vague, and then I go back with a darker clipping mask to add in darker areas, and then a lightening mask later to add in some lighter areas. So that's the whole process. It was pretty simple. I do a little bit of a Gaussian blur on the very top area later on. But yeah, it was really fun to work on.
So one thing I will say specifically that I did just remember about this piece and a lot of the stuff that I've been doing lately, I have been not sampling colors from my reference image. And I only thought of that because I saw you doing it, and I'm not giving you crap for doing that. It's totally fine. Yeah. But something I've been,
I don't feel like any crap is given or taken.
So I tried to like... not necessarily make it exactly the same, but just make it believable, make it work, you know? So I actually find that very hard, which is why I'm trying to work on it and improve it. And I'm actually very happy with the colors that I end up using here and coming up with. I invent a lot of these colors. They're kind of new colors.
Oh, wow. New colors that nobody's seen before.
Right, exactly.
Like the rainbow. What's the animal that supposedly can see so many colors than we can? The rainbow mantis shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can see different spectrums.
Apparently there's a few people who can do that too, according to the science.
Whoa.
Yeah, that can see things that we can't see, and they've been able to identify these people. That, or this was like a science fiction article that I read that was published as truth, and I just fell for it.
So
easy to do.
I'm interested to see how you do the harder, more defined shapes for those front pencils, because you are someone that goes very soft a lot of the time. So watching you paint the background, I'm like, oh, this is Abby's forte. She's all about
the blurry.
This blurry softness.
I felt really good about it because, as you can see, I'm like, well, it's so blurry in the background that any definition I put in the foreground is going to stand out. You can already see my sketches.
It's the contrast of it.
The contrast.
Yeah, the sketches look cool. You are very good with sketching. Like your line work is really cool.
Thank you. That's my favorite
you
part.
Flow,
what I wish I could. You know what I've thought about
definition.
doing? Sorry, I'm cutting you off. I don't mean to be.
No, we're fine. Just talk at the same time. It's cool.
I really sometimes wish that I would sketch an initial sketch for a Drawbli episode on paper and scan it in, as in take a picture of it with my iPad.
You can do that.
And try adding color. I feel like that would be.
That's absolutely doable.
Freeing to me in terms of learning more about color without having to worry about blocking in my forms, because I'm just a lot better at it on paper.
Yeah, you should.
than I am on the iPad.
I'm just gonna say right now, sometime in the near future, you must then attempt to do this.
I will.
It's not something you've ever tried before, right?
No, and I don't know if anybody else relates to that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That feeling of
even
like,
your favorite artist in the world does that sometimes.
Yeah, well, that and what is that feeling of like, why can I create this so much more easily on paper than digitally? Shouldn't it be the opposite? I don't know.
Well, yes, but like they're very similar tools, right? Mm-hmm. But it's just a matter of you're more comfortable using one over the other. You're more experienced using one over the other.
Yeah.
Like for me to use pencil over like just sketching digitally, I would be a lot more comfortable doing it digitally because I always know like how easy it is for me to go in, erase stuff, make any changes. I can adjust I can adjust a line just like that, super easy for me. But you are more kind of go with the flow, I feel like, with what you do, and I think that's because of your more traditional background, where I'm more like scared of the flow, and I'm like, no.
The flow is frightening. The river is deep here. Depths. Oh, back to our theme word.
So my whale has some very beluga shapes, and he's like a balloon right now. But I do change that later.
Oh, okay.
I don't use like a ton of different brushes, but I try to get some like messy randomness on him. Yeah. And I also you'll see that there are some reds and greens and blues on him, and I try to use some more of that like color vibration idea.
Oh, okay.
And I really like it. Like it ends up being pretty cool. I feel like this finished piece is actually something that I could see like in a children's book or something like that.
Oh, like an illustrative quality? I like that. Yeah. No, it looks super cool. I like how the back of the whale is not just one block of color. I can see lots of little strokes of different colors there, and that's super fun. Oh, you're adding some blue to that. Oh yeah, see, it's coming along. It's really cool. Cool stuff. I like it a lot. That must have been, this was probably some of the most fun stuff to create for me because we were in such a fun environment. This coffee shop, it's so cool. They sell art on all the walls of the coffee shop.
They do, and you almost bought some tapestries.
Oh my gosh, I love the tapestries.
They're just a little too small is my only complaint.
I know, we wouldn't have been able to hang them behind the couch. They would have had to go on one of the walls in the kitchen.
We're looking for some art for the area above our couch.
It's like a 5 foot by 7 foot no, it's bigger than that. It's much bigger than that. I don't have any eyeball.
Not much bigger than that, but it's probably 9 feet, let's say. Yeah. 9 feet by.
And it's just been blank this whole time. A little embarrassing. It's just calling out for some art, but don't know what to put there.
No idea.
Because, whatever.
It could be anything.
It could be.
We're going to start throwing our Drawbli work up there.
Yeah, I know, literally.
We're just going to go to, Walgreens or whatever and, print out a bunch of 5x7s.
It's like local artists made it.
We'll put, little Post-its, these 5x7 artworks, and it's somebody comes into our house and we're like a consignment shop.
Yeah.
Oh, that one? $2.50. It's one of the more pricey ones, though, so... If you're willing to pay for it, I'd be willing to part.
Yeah, how are we going to get people in to look at them, though? We'll have to set up our house as a coffee shop to invite people in.
It sounds a little...
I have said before, I want to get rid of our dining room table and replace it with like a whole coffee shop, lounge chair vibe.
So what do we do when people come over, Abby? Because previously you told me that you want a big table.
Well, I think that's okay. So we need to do one of two things. We either need to get a bigger table or no table at all. Because right now we have the worst of both worlds.
We need a big table or no table. There are no in between.
We need a big table that seats at least 6, or a no table, and we just set up a folding table when people come over. Yeah. Ooh, we've got a couple little folding tables in the basement. See, I'm onto something. But we get rid of our 4-top table, and we put in a little breakfast bistro nook. Love bistro style. Yeah, and we put it by the window because I love to look out the window.
Abby does love to look out the window.
It's kind of my favorite.
Abby's pretty much a golden retriever. Yeah.
I don't think of myself as a golden. I think more of how cats look out the window, but yeah, could also do that.
So we're gonna have a little bistro setup. I'm okay with that, sure.
Yeah, or those low slung dark brown leather chairs you see at Starbucks.
That was a lot of words to describe a chair.
But I had to emulate. I couldn't just describe the chair. I had to present the vibe of the chair.
The vibe of the chair.
Yes, with some artwork above it. We'll just steal some big printout from a Starbucks. It'll just be straight
Abby
up the
loves
mermaid.
the vibe of Starbucks, like the design.
They
sense.
clearly put a lot of money and thought into it. Sure, it's mass produced because there's a lot of Starbuckses, but it's done pretty well. It's very inviting.
I think the inside is very very inviting.
Not that we were
the
at a
coffee shop
Starbucks
that we
before.
went to, though. That place
that was
had
a whole
really
nother level.
cool vibe.
I mean, that was exposed brick, art installations of light fixtures, while still feeling very homey and down to earth.
Yeah, they had some really cool lighting. What would you call them?
Fixtures?
Fixtures? Sure, fixtures.
I guess.
With all these dangling strips of cut
here's
paper.
a picture. Ba-doing.
Did you actually take a picture of one?
Remember, I took a picture of you. There you are in the picture.
Oh,
Hello.
God. I don't remember this photo at all. Oh, God, I'm terrified. Great. Well, we said it, so now it has to be in the episode.
It's on my phone. And there we were. I sat next to Ben. See, to the left of him there, that's where I sat.
Oh, okay. I do remember these photos.
And
I think I remember saying, "Don't worry, I'll take a photo of you too." And I don't know if I ever did.
I don't think you did. That's fine.
I'm bad
at to always be the one photographing and never be photographed.
Oh, please get out of here. I like how your pencils are shaping up. Do you end up doing anything more with texture, like the wood grain?
Yeah, a little. It gets a little more defined and detailed. I decided to start really gentle with what texture I added and let it speak for itself without trying to be too intentional about it, and just see how that looked. And I ended up liking how it looked a lot without adding a whole heap of intricate detail. But I do get more detailed than this.
What are you using right now? Oh, I think you just switched brushes. But you are actually getting some of that natural texture on the wood. It's very cool.
Exactly, and that was not hard to do, just to suggest with some texture
just
brushes.
To suggest. You do love to not draw things, but just the suggestion of
suggestions, ideas,
the suggestive
concepts.
style.
Yeah.
If I could describe your style, it'd be the suggestive style.
Oh, suggestive, huh?
Oh, well, not like that, but maybe in the future. We'll see the direction that Drawbli goes.
We'll really take off then, won't we? We'll get real popular.
The new Drawbli direction.
Oh,
is
look at your whale right here. I'm really identifying with what you said of it being an illustrative style because he stands out so much from his background and has such defined edges. He's so cool.
Yeah, I actually, if I remember right, I think I do a little highlighting around the edge of the character. If you look at the whales, I'm not sure if this is a naturally occurring thing that's happening, but I would assume that it is. So the light is coming down in the water, right? And it's hitting the whales. But if you look at the whales, there's almost this glowing aura around them.
Yeah.
It's very subtle, very slight. But I actually think that is just because the light is bouncing off of the whales, and because they're underwater, the light can't maybe travel as far. So thus it's it's making it look like they glow. I don't know if that's how it works, but if I had to guess, that's what I would say is potentially happening there. So I tried to do that to the whale later on and try to create that glowing effect.
Yeah, and I like what you're doing here where you're blocking in these bright colors and then just fade. Are you fading the opacity?
Yeah, I'm just kind of fading them out and playing with them.
How did you decide where you were going to put like the green blocks and the red blocks and the blue blocks?
Yeah, I was looking at the whale reference and just picking up on little shapes that I could see, and if they had like a little bit of, you know, bluish color to them, I would just make that a really defined shape that I thought was interesting on the whale, and then I would just fade that out to make it really, really subtle, obviously.
That's really cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. Oh, that's a really good whale. That's the thumbnail for the video.
I don't know. I think your pencils turned out really cool. Like, honestly, yours, when I saw it at first, I was like, oh my gosh, that looks exactly like the photo.
Oh, thank you.
Like, the depth of it looks really cool.
Got the word in real well.
Have you, I know I talked about like the color vibration thing, and that's kind of what I'm doing with my whale here a little bit. Is that something that you have experimented with at all yet?
No, I thought about it for a while once, and then I think I
forgot.
I didn't forget. I watched the same video you did, and then I just couldn't. I didn't take the time to figure out how to set it up so that I had all the colors at hand ready to go.
Right.
Which I don't know. I'll have to have you show me a little bit about that process later, about how you get your colors ready and pick them, and because I don't know. It just felt really hard, but I really want to experiment more with it in the future.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you some stuff. I like how you're going in and being so intricate, cleaning up all your shapes. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
I can see you going in. Yeah, you got some really cool texture on there. It looks like you've turned off all your lines now, and it, like the quality of a good painting, at least in my mind, is you can turn off all the lines and it still looks really cool.
Oh, cool. It's a good painting then. Yeah, I decided to turn those off just to see how it shaped up, because there's still so much softness going from the very tip of the pencil down to the base. I was like, okay, I'll take out the sketch.
Do you keep the lines off?
I think I do, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. It actually looks really good even without the lines.
Yeah, at this point, I think I was probably like 45 minutes into making this.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy how much time it takes to create
That's nothing.
such simple
What are you talking about?
Well, that's what I'm saying is
45
like, this
is
is just a little thing of pencils and only 2 of them are detailed.
And well, in my head, I'm like 45 minutes is literally nothing.
Professional. Well, yeah.
If you think 45 minutes is long, oof.
Yeah, I know. I don't. In the grand scheme of art, I just think it's so interesting though to reflect on that. You know,
yeah, well, in some ways, I think that's like good for a lot of new artists to kind of get that perspective as often as possible early on, so that they can get used to, you know, seeing like genuinely how long things take. So previously with Drawbli, we were doing 30 minutes at most for our artworks, because we just wanted to focus on the beginning, you know, on the early stuff. And now we've decided to expand upon that and make it twice as long by giving ourselves an hour to, you know, we feel like we can push ourselves just like a little more in that regard. Yeah. And we feel like we want that extra time. So
I love what you're doing here with your color balance. I love every time I see you go into like the graphs of the color balance. I'm like, oh, he's getting so serious and detailed.
He's getting so serious with his color. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't believe he's going to do that.
Whoa. He knows so much.
I do like the slightest amount, like a one pixel, what is it called?
Chromatic aberration?
Chromatic
I don't
aberration.
even know where that feature is, but that's so cool.
It's just one of the filters.
I didn't even know we had
But I do like the absolute smallest amount of that possible.
That's so cool.
Oh, I think.
Oh my gosh.
I actually hate chromatic aberration. It's so overdone and overplayed.
Yeah.
And it normally looks really silly. So I do it very, very subtly here. But yeah. There is our beautiful finished artwork of my deep, deep whale and your deep, deep pencils.
Oh, the deep pencils. Yes.
I love yours, and I love the way it turned out. I think it looks
thank
awesome.
You.
Well, hey, click that subscribe button if you are new around here.
And definitely comment below. We love the suggestions to pull us outside of our own head boxes.
And this is the part where we say
goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Your pencils are amazing.
Your whale is
oh my gosh.
Whale. Oh
the
my
best
gosh.
whale.
The best whale.
The
I've
best
ever saw. Did you ever go
pencils.
whale watching?
No.
I did. I got so seasick.